Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if this is your first time of visiting the channel, I would like you to hit the subscribe button and don't forget to smash the notification bell so that whenever I post a new video you will get notified as soon as possible. So last week was the beginning of the month of April. Alright, so that is the first week of April, so I wasn't really expecting so much from the market. Alright, with the formation of a candlestick concept in mind, I mean, you should know that in the first week of every month mostly it's a kind of manipulation. Alright, because if you have the candlestick formation concept in mind, alright, when price open you should know where you should move to. Alright, that is if you're expecting a bullish or a bearish market. So last week I wasn't really expecting so much in the market. I was really reluctant. I didn't actively trade last week. Alright, because it was the first week of the month, so I wanted to see where price moves to for me to be able to see what to do next. Alright, so that is that for last week. Let's quickly look at what this week has for us. Alright, so as usual, let's go through these few pairs and then you see what this week has for us. So let's start with the dollar index and see what has happened on the dollar index. So in my previous analysis I made you aware that I don't want to see price break this line. Alright, and I mean, definitely we saw price breaking this zone here. Alright, but if you should go to the weekly time frame, you realize that there is a change in trend of the market. Apparently I was expecting to see price push to the downside, but look at what is happening. We are seeing higher prices on the dollar index. Alright, so my bias on the dollar index will have to change. Alright, I don't need to stick to what I was expecting to see in the market once I've seen signatures that we are going to see higher prices on the dollar index. So going into next week I'll be waiting for a pullback into the zone. Alright, a pullback into the zone, then we expect to see higher prices. Alright, if price is going to move up to the upside, I don't want to see it break this zone. Alright, I don't want to see it break below this zone. If we see a break below this zone, then definitely we are going to see price come back, fill these imbalances before we see where price is going to move next. Alright, so going into next week I want to see price come back into the zone and then we see price push to the upside. So going into next week, that is my expectation on the dollar index. Alright, so that is my expectation on the dollar index. Price come back, let's come back hit to this other block you are seeing here, and then we see a bounce to the upside. Let's look at what is happening on EURUSD. So the dollar index, EURUSD opposite plan. Alright, so if I'm expecting bullishness on dollar index, then definitely I should expect to see some bearishness in EURUSD. So going into next week I want to see this low being attacked. Alright, a little retracement and then we see price push to the downside for the dollar index. So going into next week I am bearish on the dollar index. Let's look at what is happening on GBPUSD. Look at what is happening on GBPUSD. So EURUSD, GBPUSD, similar plan. Alright, so if I'm bearish on EURUSD, I am bearish on GBPUSD. But at the moment the GBP is looking weak. Alright, from the futures market I'm seeing a weakness in GBPUSD, so I wouldn't be surprised going into next week we see some form of consolidation on the GBPUSD. Alright, I wouldn't be surprised if we should see some sort of consolidation on the GBPUSD before we see price push to the downside. Alright, so going into next week I'm still bearish on the GBPUSD. Alright, see, even if it's weak, that will even trigger that move. Alright, even if it's weak, that will even trigger that move. So at the moment, strong dollar index, weak GBP, perfect. Alright, so going into next week I'm definitely bearish on GBPUSD. Alright, so let's look at what is happening on GBPJPY. So the whole of last week GBPJPY was in a consolidation. Alright, let's switch to the 4-hour time frame and see what is happening the whole of last week. So just as you can see, the whole of last week GBPJPY didn't make any significant move either to the upside or to the downside. So going into next week, I'm expecting to see GBPJPY break out of consolidation, then we see price moves to the downside. So I'm still bearish on GBPJPY, just that I want to see price out of this consolidation, then I'll start looking for selling opportunities on GBPJPY. So that is it for GBPJPY. Let's look at what is happening on AUDJPY. All right, let's look at what is happening on AUDJPY. So GBPJPY, AUDJPY, same thing. Last week we also saw consolidation throughout. All right, we saw consolidation throughout on GBPJPY. So I want to see price break out of this consolidation, then we see where price move next. All right, on a higher time frame, I'm expecting lower prices on AUDJPY. So that means right after this consolidation, I want to see that manipulation to the upside, then we see the real movement to the downside on AUDJPY. So that is my expectation on AUDJPY going into next week. Let's look at what is happening on AUDUSD. All right, let's look at what is happening on AUDUSD. For AUDUSD, I'm bearish on that pair. All right, for AUDUSD, I'm very bearish on AUDUSD. So going into next week, I will expect to see price continue the sells. All right, we saw this. So we saw this accumulation, manipulation. The next thing you're expecting is what is distribution. So going into next week, I will still expect to see the AUDUSD continue to push to the downside. So that is my expectation on AUDUSD going into next week. Let's look at what is happening on NZDJPY. So AUDUSD, NZDJPY, same plan. All right, I'm also expecting bearishness. Yeah, so I took this trade last Thursday. All right, so I'm still holding into next week. I'm expecting this low to be attacked. All right, I'm expecting this low to be attacked. So going into next week, I expect to see the sells on NZDUSD to continue to attack this low. All right, so that is my expectation on NZDUSD going into next week. So let's look at what is happening on EURAUD. Let's look at what is happening on EURAUD. For EURAUD, I am bullish. All right, for EURAUD, I'm bullish on EURAUD. All right, even though we are seeing this, but let's look at the weekly. Let's look at the weekly and see what is happening. I always say that the higher time frame is king. All right, the higher time frame is king, irrespective of whatever you are seeing on lower time frame. The higher time frame is king. That is where you really see the real movement of the market. All right, yeah, so look at what is happening on EURAUD. This is how the market closed. All right, this is how price closed last week. All right, you've seen a rejection to the upside. That tells us that there is a strong bullish momentum coming into the market so far as EURAUD is concerned. So going into next week, I expect to see price push to the upside. So that is my expectation on EURAUD going into next week. But I want to see price push up, close above the zone, then I'll be comfortable taking buy opportunities, attacking this high and attacking this high. All right, yeah, so that is my expectation on EURAUD going into next week. Let's look at what is happening on EURJPY. Let's look at what is happening on EURJPY. So for EURJPY, I am bearish. All right, I'm bearish on EURJPY. Just that I want to see price break this low. All right, so once this low is broken, I will wait for this low to break and then see a retest back to this level, then see a push to the downside, filling all this liquidity void we are seeing here. All right, yeah, so going into next week, I am bearish on EURJPY. Let's look at what is happening on USD CAD. Let's look at what is happening on USD CAD. For USD CAD, I'm bullish on the dollar index, so I expect to see some bullishness on the dollar index. So going into next week, I am bullish on the dollar index on USD CAD. So I want to see price push to the zone, and then we see price push to the upside, getting into this area. So going into next week, I'll wait for that retracement to happen, and then I'll start looking for buying opportunities to attack this high and then into this area. Let's look at what is happening on EURCAD. Let's look at what is happening on EURCAD. All right, yes. So for EURCAD, at the moment, I'm expecting higher prices. Yes, I'm expecting higher prices on EURCAD. All right. So I want to see price clear this high. All right. My price clearing this high, that will really give me the edge to start looking for buying opportunities. All right. Even though we are in a bearish environment, there is a reversal setting in. All right. There is a reversal setting in on euro. So last week, this is the trade I took, but unfortunately price it didn't go as I was expecting. All right, yes, price didn't go as, but I'm still bullish. All right, I'm still bullish on the spread going into next week. So that is my expectation on EURCAD. All right, I want to see this high break. All right, once this high is broken, then definitely I'm going to expect to see buying opportunities from in the market. All right, yes, so that is that going into next week. All right, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do me that favor by clicking the subscribe button and smash the notification bell so that whenever I post a new video, you will get notified as soon as possible. If you are not part of my Telegram community, kindly check the description box below. The link is there. Just click on the link and then be part of the fluxforex community. All right, and again, I'm sorry for the loss in voice. All right, if today you realized you are hearing a very slight change in my voice, yes, I haven't been well for some couple of days now. All right, yes, but that is not preventing me from bringing you the weekly forecast today. All right, yeah, so kindly pardon me for the change in voice today. All right, yeah, so that is just that going into next week. I wish you all good luck and good trade. I'll come your way again next week. Bye.